What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're going to talk some football. Houston Texans football. But before we get into the conversation for today, I want to start by saying, like I told you on the last couple of videos, your boy's goal this year is to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But before I get to 4,000, I got to get to 2,000 first. And last time I checked before making this video, my subscribers up to 1512, so appreciate all the new subscribers. I'm thinking the number is 29 from the last video, so shout out to all the new 29 subscribers. Like I say, if you like the content, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell everybody you can to get the channel continue to grow and grow. Like I said, my goal is to at least get to 4,000 by the end of the year. Striving to even get more, but before I get to 4,000, I had to get to 2 and 3 first. So I need y'all to get me up there so I can get to my goal for 4,000. It's a lot of stuff that I plan on doing, but I need my subscribers to be up for me to justify the means of doing the things that I'm gonna be planning on doing for the channel to make the channel a little bit more better for y'all out there, for me, for y'all, everybody out there, a little better to enjoy, and more content and actually more rapid content at that. Now that I said that, let's talk about the conversation, because the conversation I want to talk about today is the Houston Texans coaching staff. As you guys know, we have hired some new coaches, let go of some coaches, and let's talk about this, because I'm gonna start off by talk about the one that everybody's most talkative about, the one that everybody is mostly harping on. Then I'm gonna talk about the two that I really like. And it's a good thing that I waited to do this video, because I actually recorded this video a couple of days ago when the initial news came out, and some of the comments that I said, they actually kind of did some similar things that I want them to do. So I'm glad I didn't throw that video out there, because by the time it would have posted around the exact same time, so it would made me look like a damn idiot. But by saying that, the Houston Texans have Bill O'Brien has finally hired offensive coordinator and former tight ends coach Tim Kelly. He was a tight ends coach for the Houston Texans for the past couple of years. We lost our quarterbacks coach and Sean Ryan. A lot of people thought that maybe Sean Ryan was going to end up becoming the offensive coordinator, but he ended up taking a lateral move to Detroit, because basically he knew that he wasn't going to move up. He wasn't going to move up in the rankings. And things about that, because there's two different type of offensive coordinators. There's an offensive coordinator that we mostly know of, a guy who does the game plan, the preparation, game plan throughout the whole week, and then on Sunday calls plays. Then we also have another former offense coordinator that does the exact same thing outside of they don't call plays on Sunday. And there are a lot of offensive coordinators that do that. Matt LaFleur, former offensive coordinator of the Titans, and before that in L.A. for the Rams, who's now the head coach of Green Bay, he was like that when he was in L.A. because Sean McVay called the plays. Sean McVay did play call. He's the guy who did the preparation and the game plan for the week, but McVay called the plays on Sunday. Same thing in Kansas City. The head coach for the Bears was former offensive coordinator Andy Reid. Same thing. He was offensive coordinator, but Andy Reid called the plays. That's the reason why Matt LaFleur took a lateral move to the Titans, which you would think would be a worse situation, because the Rams won the playoffs, and you got Gurley and you got proceeded with golf before this Super Bowl run, and you thought that the Rams would be a better fit for him, especially trying to get a head coaching job. But he went to Tennessee to call plays, and we kind of see how that worked out. So who knows what's going to happen in Green Bay, because there was a lot of questionable play calls that he did last year in Nashville. Most notably that one on Monday night when he fourth and one, he run the ball to only a fullback. I think it was a tight end. It was his first carry of his career. It was a very not a question to go for it, but a question for the call. The play selection was highly suspect, and that's on him. So about this guy Tim Kelly, the thing about this hire to me is he's going to call plays. Now, from the vibe that Bill O'Brien's get, that he says he's confident in him calling plays, but more so it's going to be more of a continued effort. So I'm thinking more so that Bill O'Brien is still going to call plays. So I don't really know about the move, because I really want an offensive coordinator who's going to call plays, and I want Bill O'Brien to give that play calling up. I know they were talking about Brian Hoyer during the Super Bowl. He said that he wished that Bill O'Brien called plays for him back in 2015, because Gotsey did all the play calls, and he didn't call good plays. And he wished that Bill O'Brien would call good plays. Bill O'Brien was there because Bill O'Brien can call good plays. He called good plays in New England, whatever. And we've seen Bill O'Brien have good play calls last year in 2017 when Deshaun was on that magical run, 19 touchdowns in 6 games. So we seen him call good plays. I think for the most part this year, I think that he was hamstrung by himself. He hamstrung himself because I think he second guessed a lot of things too much. You know, hey, Deshaun coming back off an injury. We don't want to get Deshaun hurt. We want to be careful with Deshaun. Oh, Deshaun got bruised ribs. We want to be careful with him. Oh, this guy got a hamstring. We want to be careful. He did a lot of careful and a lot of handling everything with kid gloves and micromanaging a lot of stuff instead of just going out there and calling football. And I think it's a lot on his plate. So hopefully maybe this thing with Tim Kelly, at least with him doing the preparation and the game prep, and maybe if they do a collective effort of calling plays, maybe it'll be better. I would much rather this. I would be much happier if Tim Kelly was the guy who was calling plays. But in saying that, I've seen Bill O'Brien call good plays before. I've seen games not be Bill O'Brien's play calling as the issue. But we also see him call boneheaded plays a lot too. So you're gonna maybe it's a live by the sword, die by the sword type situation. I really don't too much really know. But all I am going to say is that I would like this situation a whole lot better if Tim Kelly was the guy calling plays. Because when I said in my original video, the one I recorded but I didn't post, was that I would have preferred them to hire a guy that either has spread, has experience in the spread offense or experience with mobile quarterbacks as offensive coordinator. It's not so that you have to bring somebody outside the organization. I would like somebody with those type of credentials because of the type of quarterback that we have in this situation. And the Texans kind of did that with their quarterback coach, Carl Smith. They hired Carl Smith, who was a quarterbacks coach from 2011 to 2017. With the Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson won Super Bowl, all those type of things. Last year he wasn't the quarterbacks coach. He was an assistant coach, and from what I'm hearing, the reason why he was the assistant coach, not the quarterbacks coach, because the Seahawks actually hired a new offensive coordinator last year, and he brought in his own team, and Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson really liked this guy, so they didn't want to just fire him and give him a job. So they gave him a made-up position, assistant coach. So just gave him a maybe just to keep him around the building, just to bounce ideas and still keep the conversations going. But from my understanding is that he's a guy who strictly wants to coach quarterbacks. He doesn't aspire to be an offensive coordinator or eventually a head coach. And that's actually kind of me the same way. Like if I was ever to be a coach, I would only want to be an offensive coordinator. I don't have no aspirations to be a full-fledged head coach. But quarterback coach, running back coach, receiver coach, offensive coordinator, that'll be my top goal. Once I'm offensive coordinator, I'm good. You ain't have to worry about me taking head coaching jobs. Because I would like to stay offensive coordinator. So I think that he likes to coach quarterbacks. He likes to be a quarterback's coach. And what a better coach to have to coach Deshaun? Somebody who coached a guy with the exact same skill sets, the mobility, the able to make plays off script, off schedule. Guy who's won Super Bowl, then had and been to 2 Super Bowls and won one. Then this guy, this is the perfect guy to coach Deshaun Watson. Outside maybe Dabo Swinney or any coach from that Clemson coaching tree because they know him and they coached and won a national championship with him. This is the next best guy because, to me, in my personal opinion, I think that him and Russell Wilson have the same skill sets, but I think that Deshaun's more naturally talented. I think Deshaun's a better runner. He's a better pass. I think he's a better pure passer. Maybe Russell Wilson has a better arm. Maybe. Now I'm not saying that Deshaun. I'm not saying at this stage of his career that Deshaun is better than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has been to 2 Super Bowl champions. He's been to 2 Super Bowl appearances. Been a Super Bowl champion, even though he had the Legion of Boom defense. But he still got him there, and he got him there the second time. And it's been in multiple NFC Championship games, and it's always consistently in the playoffs. Which for a while that division was a tough division. That division wasn't always bad. I mean, when they had Kaepernick and then with Carson Palmer and the Cardinals, like that division has always been, since Russell Wilson's been there, has been a nice division, and it's about to get back that way. With the way the 49ers are possibly looking, and with the Rams and things like that. So he's always constantly in the playoffs and always constantly a threat. And this guy's coached this guy for his whole career. Either he was the quarterback coach or at least on the staff. So to have this guy around Deshaun, and Russell Wilson doesn't make boneheaded plays. So it also can help something I think that Deshaun struggles in. I know a lot of people say holding on to the ball too long. Sometimes some of Deshaun's pre-snap reads are not good. Like I said, there's a lot of time that he got sacked because of the bad offensive line. There's a lot of times Deshaun got sacked before he even hiked the ball because he misdiagnosed the defense. This has happened a couple times. It's not just 1, 2, 3. It's happened a couple times. Not nothing that's too alarming, like, oh, he's not a franchise quarterback. Not saying that by any means necessary. But what I'm saying is he does have a weakness in that area, and possibly this guy here could possibly coach Deshaun out of there. Remember, Russell Wilson had that pick in the end zone that made Malcolm Butler famous. Bad read. These are things that you can sit down with Deshaun Watson and film study. Like, look at this right here. Now, let's look at some of your stuff. See? You see the same similarities? So I'm thinking that in this coaching room, I think that he could be good. He could do wonders. He could be a quarterback whisperer for a guy who doesn't need to be whispered. And another guy the Texans hired was TJ Yates. They hired him as an assistant. He's an offensive assistant, assistant coach. I think he's a quarterback assistant, if I'm not mistaken. I think that is perfect because when Deshaun got drafted by the Houston Texans, the first person that he reached out for was TJ Yates to learn the terminology and to get a refresher or a brief course before he came into minicamp and training camp and rookie camp to learn Bill O'Brien's offense. And I said it right then and there when I was following him on Instagram and I seen the post. I'm like, whenever TJ is ready to call it, I want to bring TJ in as a coach. And looking at the way and this is the perfect situation for TJ Yates. TJ Yates was drafted by the Houston Texans. No matter how many Super Bowls the Texans will ever win, if the Texans win Super Bowls, no matter how many they win, TJ Yates is the first quarterback to win a divisional game for this team. He's the first person who got a divisional title for this team. So he's always going to be embedded in the team's history. Then you go get him off of free agency and plop him in on Monday night against the Bengals, and which up until this game against the Jets was my favorite Hopkins touchdown. Then you did the same thing last year. Like, you've always got TJ Yates in the pinch. So I guess that's the only bad thing about this, that you ain't no way to pick up TJ in a pinch no more because he's now a coach, so he's not able and not eligible to play football, if I'm not mistaken. But he has history with this franchise, with this coaching staff, with a lot of these players on this team, and also has previous history with Deshaun because Deshaun reached out to Deshaun and also Carson Palmer's brother who helped Deshaun during the draft process. They reached out to TJ. And judging by how TJ got it out the mud, the way he got it out the mud, I think that TJ has the makings for being a coach because the way he bounced around the league and the way how he came in big moments, never shied away from the big moments. Remember, he's a third-string, fifth-round draft pick rookie, plopped into a situation where the Texans were 7-3, battling for their first time ever getting to the playoffs, and he answered like money. Did he make his mistakes against Baltimore and threw 4 picks in the playoff game? Yes. But then when you need him to come off the bench against an undefeated Cincinnati team on Monday night, came through like money. So, not to mention with all the credentials and all the clutch gene that we give Deshaun Watson credit for what we did against Bama, TJ can see things. And also TJ played the quarterback position at this level. Won playoff games at this level. He can show Deshaun some things. He can help point out. So you have the matchup of Carl Smith, who coached a quarterback like Russell Wilson, and then messing in with TJ Yates. I think that's a perfect combination for success when it comes to this coaching staff. And I do think because, if I'm not mistaken, Carl Smith is not a spring chicken. Let's see exactly. He is 70 years old. Yeah, so the guy is 70 years old. So I wouldn't be surprised that if another 2 to 3 years, you could see TJ taking over and being the quarterback's coach, and maybe another 5 to 6 years potentially being an offensive coordinator. I think that highly of TJ Yates. I think that TJ Yates has to get his feet wet first. But I do think that TJ has the makings. And I said that when I watched him. I said, I think TJ Yates, same thing with Brian Hoyer. I think same thing with Brian Hoyer as well. I think both of those type of former quarterbacks, well, Brian Hoyer is still playing football, just won Super Bowl with the Patriots. But I think those guys have the makings of being good offensive coaches. Now, maybe they might not be able to be great NFL head coaches, but as far as quarterback coaches, offensive coordinators, I think both of them have those makings to at least be that. So I would not be surprised, like I said, in another 2 to 3 years, TJ is a quarterback, full-fledged quarterbacks coach, and another 5 to 6 years is the offensive coordinator. Like, I would not be surprised by any means. Now I know Brian Cushing has taken over as an assistant for strength and conditioning and also helping out with the linebackers. Kind of funny because, Brian Cushing, PEDs, and strength and conditioning. But, like, no matter how many times JJ won Defensive Player of the Year, like I've always said, my favorite play on defense was Brian Cushing. So I'm very glad that he's on the coaching staff. I like him as an assistant linebacker coach. I think eventually he probably will take over and be the full-fledged linebacker coach. The strength and conditioning, that's a little questionable. Like, I'm a huge Brian Cushing fan, but that's a little questionable. That is a little questionable. Wes Welker has left and went to the 49ers. I think he got a full position as a receiver coach, and a lot of people want to keep Wes Welker. I want to keep Wes Welker as well. But when it comes to the only position that was open was a receiver, was offensive coordinator. So you're gonna jump Wes Welker from being an assistant straight up to offensive coordinator? I ain't really see that. And also, cause that's a big step. And also, like, maybe him being a receivers coach, but we have a receivers coach, and they came in at the same time. He came in 2017. The receivers, this is the best that we've had, a collection of receivers that they played with Will Fuller, with Kiki. The past 2 years, even though Wes Welker has been in the building at the exact same time as well, but he is the receivers coach, and I'm not behind the scenes. I mean, I know Wes played the game and played the position. I don't really know. Like, we really don't know. I think that he's a huge influence on Kiki, especially with them both going to Tech. I really don't know exactly. Would it justify letting go of the other guy just to keep Wes Welker? Because we don't know exactly who's the brains behind the operation. I mean, we assume it's Wes. That's because we've seen Wes play. We really don't know. Because just like this, if nobody even heard of Carl Smith, and we just say that the way the offense is looking, the way Deshaun has developed is just outstanding. We can't give all the credit to. We're going to just give all the credit to TJ. When this guy has a history of coaching good quarterbacks, of coaching Russell Wilson, so we can't just automatically just give the credit to Wes, because we don't know if the receivers coach is the guy who really deserves the credit. It might be a combination of both. So we'll see. I'm not saying that Wes is going to be a bad coach in the 49ers. I think Wes is a good coach as well. But I wouldn't say go out and fire this guy just to keep Wes. If we could have kept Wes, and I'm pretty sure, like I said, Wes probably wanted to get a coaching job. And remember, Wes, he might be from the state of Texas, but he doesn't belong to Texas. Like, it's different with TJ, because TJ actually played here, was drafted here. TJ got history. He's always coming back. I really don't think, unless TJ just thinks of the joint as a coach, I don't think TJ will leave, to be honest with you. I think that TJ will grow up in the ranks, and I mean, unless we just throw a stone fire over all the coaches and just get rid of everybody. But I don't see Bill O'Brien leaving anytime soon as well either. Like, if there was a time for Bill O'Brien to leave, it possibly could have been now, or last year. I don't really see Bill O'Brien leaving too soon, but who knows? Like, share, subscribe if you haven't, comment below. If you haven't clicked that bell, get more videos, I holla. Don't forget to subscribe, man. Get your boy up to 4K. Holla.